Today, I'm going to be showing you guys this glitched 7'2" center build in NBA 2K22 Next Gen. But first, if you guys haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. Helps me out so much. It literally costs nothing. It takes 5 seconds. So of course, since this build is so tall, it's going to be very toxic on the 1v1 court. So you guys know I had to take it there. The first game isn't really against the greatest opponent in the world, but you guys can see how dominant this build is. It's going to be a very toxic and dominant post-scoring build, but it's also much more athletic and gets elite big man contact dunks, which a normal 7'2" or 7'3" build cannot get. Okay, so check out this possession. I burn him with the triple threat move, get inside, hit him with a little hop. He recovers extremely well, but since I don't have teammates, I'm pretty much stuck. I go for a step through shot, miss, but it doesn't really matter because I get my own board. Then I go ahead back out and hit him with a drop step. This is the dominance I was talking about. Like, obviously this isn't a big man, but even against bigs, you can destroy them with drop steps, post hooks, standing dunks, or pretty much anything else. And if you do miss, since you are so tall, you can just grab the offensive rebound. Plus, this build gets Hall of Fame rebound chaser. So hopping back into the gameplay, he misses a 3-pointer. I've mostly been post scoring up until this point, so he sags off me. However, something you should know about this build is it can 100% shoot. You guys can see I step into the mid area and green the shot. Also, this build can shoot threes as long as you know your jump shot and you're able to time it consistently. On his possession, you guys can see I get a block. He does grab the offensive rebound though, goes out to the corner and bricks the 3-pointer. Now I have post scoring takeover and I'm able to show off this build even more. On this possession, I wanted to see how OP this build is. I was curious what would happen if I just backed him down into the paint and then just held square. You guys can see I do exactly that and he just cannot get a contest. At this point, I have takeover and I'm winning 10-2, so I feel extremely confident. I leave him wide open, but this time he does punish me by greening the shot. He gives me the exact same treatment by sagging off into the paint. And of course, I'm not going to pass up this opportunity. I step into the mid-range area and green the shot. Now I'm up by 7 and I also do have takeover, so I'm feeling pretty confident. My opponent tries to rim run on me, which is perfectly fine by me. You guys can see I go ahead and get a chase down. And I decided that rather than just going up with the dunk, I would let him recover. I have a 7-point lead and plus I have takeover, so I want to show off this build. I hit him with back-to-back post spins, get him sliding, do a post hook, which I go ahead and green. I have post shot daggers takeover, which is one of the most overpowered takeovers in this game. Next possession, I just give him a 2, let him rim run. And a little bit later, I'm able to get down low, hit him with a drop step, and go up with the standing layup. At this point, I'm winning 16-7, meaning I have a 9-point lead. When he gets the ball back, he goes for another rim run, and I get my second chase down block of the game. This build overall just gets so many chase downs, which is something I love about this build. I ended up going for a really dumb spin shot, so he does get the ball back. You guys can see this entire possession, I'm just staying on him, letting him shoot a midi if he wants to, and just continuously bumping him until eventually I bump him out of bounds. Even though since you are 7'2", you don't get clamps on this build, you do have very high strength, so you are able to bump people very easily. At this point, I'm winning 16-7, meaning I have a 9-point lead. I hit him with a triple threat move, get right past him, but I let him recover just so I can get a standing contact dunk. If you make this glitch build, you're able to get a 75 vertical, which means you're gonna get elite big man contact dunks. So if you do end up making this build, you're definitely gonna be getting a lot of contacts. On the last few possessions of this game, I end up getting my 3rd block. Then I turn around, hit him with a drop step, missed the close shot for some reason, but it doesn't really matter. I just hit him with yet again another drop step and this time make the close shot. I go ahead, leave him open. It doesn't really matter if he scores or not, but he tries to rim run and I get my 4th block of this game. In addition, I also get takeover, nearly double takeover, and he's pretty much just sitting in the paint, and since I post shot daggers, I decide to just do a post hook. So yeah, that's the end of game number 1. I won 22-7 with in total 4 blocks. So hopping into game number 2, I'm definitely playing against a better opponent. Starting this gameplay off, I do a hezzy to the right, enter into the post, pretty much back him down all the way into the paint. Then I hit him with a drop step, burn right past him, go for a step through layup, which I go ahead and knock down. He goes for a rim run, which I'm perfectly fine with, because I know a high percentage of the time I will just end up getting a chase down. And you guys can see on this possession, I was actually pretty close to getting a ball. He ends up leaving me open and I get a full bar. That is just something that will happen if you have low shooting ratings. It's all good though. I get the ball back and he's still sagging off me. So I go ahead, pull the midi, and this time I green it. After this, he ends up shooting a pretty deep 3 and misses. So I enter into the post, hit him with a double post spin. Then I back him down a little bit more, go for a drop step, and get a standing dunk. A little bit later, he greens a deep 3, and I get another standing dunk. And then after this, he just goes for a rim run, which I told you guys I'm perfectly fine with. Okay, now check out this possession right here. I enter into the post, go for a drop step, and miss the standing shot. But I then grab the offensive rebound over him, go for another drop step, which he gets a contest on. But it doesn't really matter. I grab another offensive rebound over him, go for a standing close shot, which he gets a contest on, but it doesn't matter, it drops anyways. I honestly feel kind of bad about that possession. There was literally nothing he could have done. With takeover and a 5-point lead, you probably think I have this game sealed, but he goes on a bit of a run. First, he rim runs and dunks successfully. I end up missing a midi. Then he activates takeover and ties the game up 12-12. I come back at him though, hit him with a drop step, wait for him to jump, and then go up with a standing layup. He comes back at me with the standing layup of his own, which I honestly don't know how I didn't block. He's sagging again, so I come back at him with a midi. Then this guy greens a 3-pointer from the hash. I'm not gonna lie, this guy was a very good shooter. He's now up by 1, but I do have the ball. However, I was able to go right back up by 1 by hitting him with a drop step and getting an easy layup. This is probably my best defensive possession of both of the games. You guys can see he runs to the right and does a spin. Then I go for a really slow reach and I'm able to get a bump steal. I don't think I actually ended up spending VC to upgrade steal on this player. But yeah, I was still able to get a steal, which is pretty cool. The score is now 20-17, and since he had been shooting so well, I decided to just give him a 2. Now I have the ball, and if I score, I win the game. I enter the post and continuously back him down. I push him a little bit, he goes for a reach, and I go for a close shot fadeaway, which is a move I wasn't really using too much in this gameplay, but started using a lot more after it. And there we go, I won 22-19, which is very, very good. Before I show you guys how to actually make this build, let me show you guys what it would look like if you made this build without glitching it. So pretty much, we're going to go with the center position. And then for the body settings, we're going to go with 7'2", 235, and a maxed out wingspan. The difference between the normal 7'2" build and the glitched build is honestly going to be insane. Take a look at these attributes, try to remember them the best you can, and compare them to the attributes after I glitched the build. I'll highlight a few key attributes. First, you have a 98 defensive rebound. This pretty much means you will not be able to get Hall of Fame rebound chaser, which is a very important badge. And also, your vertical is only at a 70, not a 75, which means you're not going to be able to get elite big man contact dunks. Those were probably the 2 main attributes that I was looking at while making this build, but pretty much every other stat does go up as well. So hopping right into how to actually make this build. This is a glitched build, so first you need to be on the metric system and then we'll flip it back to empirical. So when you're setting up this glitched build on the glitched file, you need to make sure you are a center. Next, for the body settings, you're going to want to go with 2.17 meters, minimum weight and max wingspan, and the body shape doesn't matter. I just usually go defined. And then for the attributes, pretty much upgrade this however you would like to. It doesn't really matter. You're not actually going to be making this build. And then pretty much the exact same thing for the takeover. Go with whatever you want to. You guys can see I built a 2-way facilitator, but that's not actually going to be the final name. What you're going to want to do from here is scroll over to edit build and then continuously press circle or B until you back out to the main menu. From there, you're going to want to change it over to the empirical system, go back into my career and edit the build you just made. You guys can see this is the exact same file, same position and everything. If I press continue onto the body settings, you guys can see it says I'm 7'2", 223 pounds and an 8-foot wingspan. And what you're going to want to do from there is upgrade the weight to 235 pounds. You guys can see now you have glitch stats. Not only do you have 99 defensive and offensive rebound, but you also get a 75 vertical so you can get elite big man contact dunks. Next, for the attributes, this is personally how I upgraded my build. First, for the close shot, I bumped this up to a 90. For the driving layup, I went with a 60. For the driving dunk, I bumped this up to a 69. Next, for the standing dunk, I went with a 90. And then for the post control, I went up to an 89. This is going to give you in total 28 finishing badges, which is extremely good. Also, if you want more dunking packages, you're going to have to upgrade your driving dunk a little bit more. But personally, after looking at the animations, I think 69 is good enough for me. And as you guys did see from the gameplay, you're able to post score extremely well, as well as get a ton of standing dunks. Next, for shooting, you're going to want to go with a 72 mid-range and a 71 three-pointer. This is going to give you 16 total shooting badges. Definitely, even though you have a low three-pointer and mid-range on this build, you're able to shoot very consistently. Next, for playmaking, the only thing that matters is pass accuracy, and I'd recommend bumping this up to an 85 to get 15 playmaking badges, as well as Hall of Fame break starter and gold bullet passer. Moving on to defensive / rebounding, first for the interior, you're going to want this at a 91. For the perimeter, you're going to want this at a 55. For the steal, you're going to want this at a 59. For the block, you're going to want this at a 98. And then next, for the defensive rebound, you're going to want this maxed out at a 99, and you're going to want your offensive rebound at an 85. This means you're going to have in total 36 defensive badges, which is honestly insane. You're going to get gold brick wall, as well as Hall of Fame chase down artist, Hall of Fame intimidator, Hall of Fame rebound chaser, and Hall of Fame rim protector, which is all around crazy. And then next, moving on to the physicals, first for the speed, you're going to want this at a 65. For the acceleration, you're going to want this at a 60. For the strength, you're going to want this at a 66. The vertical, max this thing out at a 75. And then for the stamina, you're going to want to bump this up to a 96. All around, the physicals are very good. And since you did glitch this build, you can get a 75 vertical, which is honestly insane because this allows you to get elite big man contact dunks, which as you guys saw previously was not possible. This build in total has 95 badges, which is extremely good. And all around, this build's able to do everything that you want a big man build to be able to do. And it's going to be good for all game modes, whether that's 5v5, 3v3, 2v2, or 1v1. If you do want free throw on this build, what you're going to want to do is drop down your post control to an 85. This will give you a 68 free throw. And if you also drop down your stamina to a 94, you can get a 73 free throw. And then moving on to the takeovers. For the first takeover, I went with post shot daggers. This is all around just a super overpowered takeover. And then next for the secondary takeover, I would recommend going with stuffed blocks. And as you guys can see, I built a paint beast. This is all around a pretty accurate name, but also a pretty boring name. If you did make it this far into the video and actually watched the entire video, let me know down below in the comment section. There's a gameplay video of me using a glitched 6'9" big man build, a dribble tutorial, and the top 5 best builds on the screen right now. Like, comment, subscribe, go follow me on Twitter, and I'm out. Peace.